Do you remember a time when zombie games weren't a dime a dozen? I'm talking about the early to late 2000s era of gaming, when it was surprising to see a zombie game pop up, refreshing even. Then, like everything good, the market got oversaturated, so they had to go, just like the Bee Gees.
Too much Bee Gees!
Before we all experience zombie fatigue, one of the most iconic games of all time would be introduced to the public. Left 4 Dead was released November 17, 2008, and it was innovative to say the least. What started as a Counter-Strike mod would evolve into a co-op zombie-killing romp that gamers everywhere could enjoy. It was evident that such a smash hit title would get a sequel, but it had to be a long way out. We just got this new game and would have to wait to see the series continue.
Wait my ass.
Left 4 Dead 2 was released exactly a year after the first game. This choice was unheard of at the time, and would even be highly unusual today. Valve's decision to have their in-house developers Turtle Rock Studios pump out a sequel so quickly came with a lot of controversy. Some gamers felt that Valve withheld content from the first title just to release it to the sequel to gouge their fans for money. A full-on petition with thousands of signatures was created to boycott the game, and it was a significant talking point in gaming media leading up to Left 4 Dead 2's release. This petition came to an end when Valve invited some critical members of the movement to play Left 4 Dead 2 while Turtle Rock was wrapping up development, to see if all their issues were being addressed. Most of them were, and those same members released a statement stating that with the amount of content being given, a full-blown sequel was the most logical path for Valve to pursue. With that, we all know what came next. A classic was born and given to us on the wings of an angel.
Look at her. She is an angel.
Left 4 Dead 2 improved on the original in every way, with new characters, campaigns, modes, special infected, and weapons. Plus, it has the bonus of being one of my favorite games ever made. Left 4 Dead's mechanics are burned into my mind at this point, and while the first game will always hold a special place in my heart, there isn't much of a reason to play it with the second being available. Everything in the first game can be found in the second along with much more, effectively making Left 4 Dead 2 one of the best sequels ever made. This is of course super ironic considering the controversy the game garnered, but the experience is fantastic regardless. I just enjoy it. Every time one of my friends suggests a playthrough, it has me about to act up.
You don't make me do something I'm gonna regret.
If you've seen my video game reviews in the past, you know that this is usually where I tackle the story. The complicated thing about this game is the story is told in a very unconventional way. All the lore you'll be getting in the game is from wall graffiti, offhand lines from the characters, or consuming other media in the universe like the official comic. I will discuss this a little bit more in the presentation section of the video, but I didn't feel like there was enough here to justify a complete story section. The story isn't the main reason why anyone plays Left 4 Dead though. We're here to kill zombies with friends, so let's jump into the gameplay.
Oh, Forte.
Trying our damnedest. Holy shit! Holy shit! I can't believe you bobbed and weaved all that so well.
Look at him go.
Dude, that was...
Left 4 Dead 2 may only be one of my favorite games of all time, but it holds the title of being my favorite co-op game. The mechanics are simple enough that a novice can pick up and play with little to no issue, making the game a party-like experience where anyone can join in on the fun, and there will be plenty of that.
Well, I didn't do fucking. What the fuck?
Oh no, maybe she was just displeased by your aura.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, if I'm being completely honest, I wasn't really feeling your aura either.
Nuts are recommended by 8 out of every 9 doctors. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the 10th because the nuts were too much for him.
Stay on the track.
Oh, spooky. It's spooky.
Maybe they left them when they got rescued.
Yeah, they got super rescued.
Got this pile of rescued people down here.
And all these rescued people were shooting.
I'm gonna be honest, Hayden. I don't know how you survived both of them. I thought for sure one of them was gonna have their way.
It's called being goated.
Yes. It's all just falling apart.
Each campaign follows largely the same gameplay loop when going through them. The survivors will start in a safe area, and it's their goal to shoot their way to the next one without losing too much of their face.
Just let me eat you. One turn.
Rinse and repeat until players reach the last mission of said campaign. From there, survivors will have to hold out against hordes of infected until they can make it to extraction. This is the bulk of what you do in Left 4 Dead 2, and there's a lot of potential for it to get boring. So, how did the development team solve this problem? Turtle Rock Studios and Valve created a complex AI system referred to as the Director to resolve the repetitive gameplay. The system monitors multiple factors to determine what supplies you find, enemies you face, and the weapons you can access. The director does this so effectively that it makes each playthrough of the campaigns feel different every time. No one playthrough will be the same as the other, and it keeps everything feeling fresh. Of course, there would have to be a good foundation for the game to begin with, otherwise we'd just be randomly generating
Shit.
Luckily, there's a great game to build on, and the mechanics are sound. Every survivor will start with 100 health points that can be replenished permanently or temporarily with health kits or medication found throughout the level. Supplies can be shared between players to help incentivize teamwork, which is extremely important if you want to survive. Sure, you have a lot of weapons and equipment to help you defend yourself against common infected, but that lone wolf shit will get you killed out here. Getting hit by enemies makes players stop dead until they kill the zombies attacking them. This alone would prevent solo players from running off by themselves, but the real killers are the special infected. There are 8 special infected you have to deal with, and they're designed to kill solo players or separate you from the group. I won't go through all of them, but let's take a look at the Hunter for example. A classic enemy with the fashion sense of a late 2000s Eminem, the Hunter will pounce on you, completely incapacitating the player until other survivors knock them off. If no one knocks the Hunter off, you can expect the worst. There will be a variety of situations you have to deal with in the campaigns to help spice things up from conventional running and gunning. You might need to hold out in a church, sprint through a supermarket to find cola, or even participate in a rock concert. There are 4 difficulties to help tune your experience from easy all the way to an expert run. I find the middle difficulties of normal and advanced to be the most enjoyable. My friends and I have played for over 10 years, and the expert difficulty still kicks our ass on the regular.
Oh my god, you stopped coming for like, oh, no! Oh. Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Alright.
Right. Jesus.
That was demoralizing, buddy.
I know! Oh.
Fucker. So fucking dumb.
If you get bored of the campaigns, you have a variety of other modes to try out. Starting off, we have survival-based modes that are based on endurance or fuel rations gained. There is also the series' iconic Versus mode, where 2 teams will play as survivors and infected through alternating rounds. Like anything else in Left 4 Dead 2, Versus requires a lot of teamwork and skill, which I do not have. There are some outstanding players here, so expect the learning curve to be steep.
Get him.
Really atrocious.
But we got it.
So glad we wanted to play Versus.
Yeah, it was great.
If your balls aren't crushed enough, the realism setting adds some extra challenge to your chosen experience. Realism takes away silhouettes around players and equipment, so expect to shoot your buddies more often than you're used to. This would be hard enough, but the mechanic of finding dead survivors in closets has also been removed from realism, trapping players in the closet.
Why won't you both just come out the closet? And they said,
we're not coming out the closet, so you can just go away.
All this content would be enough to sell the game, but we also have the added mutations to help spice things up further. These mutations were originally mods that were cycled out weekly. Today, all of the mods are available whenever you want. There's a lot of mutations here, and they can be something as simple as original Left 4 Dead settings to being the only survivor against an army of special infected. All of this is topped off with a great social system that allows players to vote for maps, adjust difficulty, or even kick their teammates.
You know what? Clutch your kick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, clutch your kick.
What?
You know what? That makes sense.
Into a different city.
LOL. Come on, Bo. I'm assuming it's Bo. Someone help me out here.
What's going on?
Oh, hit F1.
Don't hit F2. No, why would you do that?
Oh, shit. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't read it, and he just said press F1, and I did.
Press F1.
Oh, you can re-invite him by hitting Alt F4, Bo.
I am banned from that server.
That pretty much covers it for the gameplay, and honestly, there's a lot more content here than I remember there being. It's funny how 10 years ago gamers were worried about a sequel not having enough content when now we have to worry about if a game will even be finished on release. That's a topic for a different day though. For now, let's take a look at the presentation.
I really like it jumping in front of you guys with bullets. That's my favorite thing.
Have you ever considered not jumping in front of bullets?
No. Did you not hear me? It's my favorite thing.
Yeah, he literally just said that.
Oh, that's the way.
The Source engine is an interesting case study for me. On one hand, I find it compellingly unique with its telltale art style and physics, while on the other hand, I observe it being buggy and inconsistent.
Stick together. You cool with that?
Huh? You guys see that?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I can look past the jank of the Source engine though. This is because despite its flaws, the Source engine still manages to be incredibly intuitive, and this is on full display in Left 4 Dead 2. When it lacks in visual clarity, it makes up for in robust versatility. Shooting feels tight, and throwing hordes of enemies at the player has to be a challenging feat for any engine.
Well, yeah, it's evolving quickly.
Even though I find the graphics basic, this is still where our recognizable characters call home. Like I said earlier, the story is not fleshed out, but despite this, all the characters in the game are remarkably memorable. I feel attached to both crews seen in Left 4 Dead, even though I only get to know them through conversations and comments they make throughout the game.
Out of the way now. Did anyone get bit? And you? There's blood on me, but it ain't mine. Name's Nick. So you guys got names or what?
My friends call me Coach. I guess y'all need to say.
Hey, name's Rochelle. You?
Alice. Pleasure to meet you, Rochelle.
Which one of you jackasses just beefed?
Oops. Sorry.
The voice actors put so much personality in their lines, it's hard not to get attached to all of these misfits. I also thought the movie posters that we see whenever we start a campaign were very unique, and I love that the art team made these, because they show a lot of effort. And that same effort carries through all the way to the end credits, where players get to see every stat you could imagine, all the way down to how many times you shot your friends.
Oh, look at those kills. Oh.
Jesus, Jake, you gonna be okay?
I am now.
You had the most friendly fire incidents, though.
The sound design is spectacular as well. Every special infected has its own music cue and identifying noise that will let you know exactly what you need to be terrified of. It's incredible the developers craft such a fascinating world through gameplay and presentation alone. As I mentioned in the intro, most of the story is told through things written on the wall or through conversations between the survivors. But even with that being the case, I still know what's happening in this world. I know that the virus has been around for roughly 2 weeks, how fast you turn is varied, and my man Francis hates helicopters.
I hate helicopters.
This is presentational storytelling at its finest, and it's just one of the many reasons Left 4 Dead manages to do more with less. If you put players in an environment that compels them, they'll find the answers themselves. You won't even have to do a thing. Some sections even have interactable objects or downright Easter eggs to complete. Noam Chomsky needs your help if he's going to make it out of here alive.
Hey look, I want to lick them draws.
If you haven't played Left 4 Dead before, I envy you. You get to play the game that inspired all the co-op shooters that you see today. But not only did Valve and Turtle Rock inspire those titles, but they also did it better in my opinion. Payday 2, Vermintide, World War Z, all of them are great games, but nothing beats the granddaddy of them all. The accessible gameplay brings players in, but the dynamic, action-packed moments with your friends will keep you coming back for years. It certainly has for my friends and I. When we started playing this game, we were just children, and now...
There was a lot of zombie stuff. Plus, I really liked watching you get pounded. Take after your mom.
We're still children. I guess some things never change. Left 4 Dead 2 has been relevant for over 10 years, and there's a reason for that. You really should pick it up if you haven't, and this is one of the few times I'll recommend the physical copy. Why? Because I hear
It's made of chocolate.